oldest and most storied stadiums, it's time to give it another go at Green Bay's Lambeau Field. Today we've got a battle here in the NFC North. It's the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. Will Reichert has it all teed up. And here we go from Lambeau. Brooks now on the return. He's stopped on the run back of the 27. So the Packers offense getting set for their first drive. And bringing them out now in his 6th year here in the NFL, Brock his 3rd as a starter. From Utah State, it's Jordan Love.
Give a lot of credit to Jordan last year. Worked through a bunch of injuries over the course of the season. Remember, the Packers were down and had to claw themselves back to the playoffs. And this kid's averaged almost 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns a year the last 2 years as a starter. A big reason why they've made the postseason both times.
Here's Josh Jacobs getting his first look on the ground. And they love to see him fighting forward, but he only gets him 3.
That's one of those sneaky little runs, Kate, that gets you enough yards to create some doubt into that defensive coordinator. You could stick to the ground. You could throw beyond the sticks. You really create some indecision now defensively.
They'll come up after that 4-yard gain. It's 2nd and 6. They stick with Jacobs. He won't be able to get past the line, and very quickly, Brock, they could be facing 3rd down to begin this ball game.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
3rd and 6 for them to figure out now. They'll air it out on 3rd. Vikings get there. They're going to win this round. And that sack brings the offense to 4th down.
Every defense in this league is going to sign up for a 3-and-out to begin a ball game. But to send them off the field, to really add that extra tone setter by backing them up with a sack, well, that's the cherry on top of that 3-and-out.
So 4th down, here comes Daniel Whelan to send it flying for the Packers. That's Miles Price back deep for the Vikings. Ball taken in at the 36. And he's going to set him up with a pretty short field here, Brock, after getting a big chunk on that return.
At the Packers' 36-yard line.
So we'll see the Vikings offense now for the first time. And leading them in his pseudo-rookie season after that injury cost him last year, the 10th overall pick in our 2024 draft, J.J. McCarthy.
I think many of us in the NFL, Kate, we always admired the special teamers, right? They're usually the first ones out of practice. They have extra meetings, extra time. And when they do their job extraordinarily well, especially early in a game and flip the field position, you want to do all you can to pay off this opportunity.
First carry here for Aaron Jones. And this is going to get him into the red zone. He's at the 18-yard line. That'll go for an 18-yard gain. And the Vikings are going to have a first down.
A run like that, Kate, it just gives everybody a little bit more bounce offensively because you also know it can set the table for more.
To the line and set. Here we go, first down. They'll go play action here. It's McCarthy. Now he takes it. And the ground game works for the touchdown. The Vikings get a perfect start. They've gone up 6-0. J.J. McCarthy, the touchdown. Well, Brock, they could prove me wrong, but I don't think touchdowns are going to come that easily the rest of this game. But starting out, we all welcome the quick score.
Yeah, not a lot of energy exerted, right? Not a lot of their cards shown just yet. They only got a couple plays into their strategy, and they found pay dirt. A lot of mystery still to come with what they're going to do schematically. A lot of answers have to be found defensively.
Now it's Will Reichert on for the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Vikings will jump out to a 7-0 lead.
Packers nothing.
Here's Reichert set to kick this away.
The kickoff for the Vikings.
And this is Savion Williams on the return. And he gets across the 30 before he's brought down.
Take over first and
The Green Bay offense returning to the field for their second possession. They didn't start the game off like they wanted, Brock. Still searching for that opening first down as they take the field a second time. New set of downs for him from the 31. Love with it on first down. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stops.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
Just a yard left to go on second down. Play action, Love. Good play on the football defensively. He knocks it away, and that's going to bring up third down.
I don't mind that play action shot at all, Kate, especially in this circumstance. The only problem is I think that defensive coordinator was thinking the way the offensive coordinator was as they defended that pretty darn well.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have third down here. Looking to throw on 3rd and 1. No better luck than the last play, Brock, as he just has to get rid of it.
Everybody wants to play quarterback until a play like that. Almost no resistance off the ball and the defense ready to maul you. It was all he could do to get rid of it before he gets just clocked.
The Packers send out their punting unit. It'll be Daniel Whelan doing the honors. Begins his return at the 16. And he's getting nothing on that return. They wrap him up almost at the exact spot that he fielded that punt. Minnesota all set to go for its second drive. And they take the field exactly where they want it to be, Brock. Off a touchdown early and with the home crowd a little quieter than normal.
I'm not going to lie to you, Kate. I think most quarterbacks, competitors love playing on the road when they do just this. Just quiet them, right? Turn them against their own team. They were quiet after that opening touchdown. You score another one, they're going to start to murmur, and we might even hear a few birds.
Only finds a couple of yards of space. It's second down.
I don't think that's the amount that they were looking for there, Kate. Can lead to some shuffle around here in the playbook. Find a more aggressive call on second.
Following that little 2-yard run, it's 2nd and 8. Staying on the ground with Jones. And they will finally catch up to him just a second before he could reach that 40. The end result there, 15 yards and a first.
I think anytime these offensive coordinators in the NFL call a run play, they're just hoping for something positive. To get a first down, that's a bonus.
They've got first down here from the 36. From the shotgun, McCarthy. And the Packers are all over it. He goes down. And that sack quickly changes the tone of this series, Brock. It's second down.
And look at that. All that effort and success from the previous play, it is gone. Credit to this defense who snapped and cleared. That's part of this game. You got to snap and clear. Give up a big play, come back and make a big one for yourself. And they do, getting home with that sack.
After the sack, let's see what the offense does here. 2nd and 18 coming up. They'll run the draw with Jones. Defender gets to him right around the line. It's going to be marked as no gain. So, Brock, that means 3rd down coming up.
I know these DNs love to get to the quarterback. I know that sacks many times equals a bigger payday. But doing the dirty work, playing the run well, that's what the best of the ends do in this league.
This offense looking to convert as they come up on 3rd down. 3rd and long for him here. He's going to loft this deep down the left sideline. The defender was waiting for that one to make a play on it, knocked it away, forcing 4th down.
We know in this league you can't start every game with scoring drives, but I think that's a clear picture of why you don't keep this drive sustained. Got to execute on the most important down, and that's 3rd down.
Now we'll see Ryan Wright come on for the Vikings to punt this away on 4th. And he'll have this fair catch right along the 25. The Green Bay offense about to get started once more. And it's far from the first time we're seeing this unit head out, Brock. But what we haven't seen so far in this opening half, well, we haven't seen much in terms of yardage.
No, it's like they've written a few lyrics, but nowhere close to a song yet.
Green Bay offense to the line now. 1st and 10. Jacobs gets it to start the drive. And the drive starts out small, just 1 yard on that play.
That's the kind of yardage that's not going to kill this drive on the first play, but it does put you a little bit behind schedule. Now 2nd down becomes critical because nobody wants a 3 and out.
Need a better result than that last run. It's 2nd and 8. Shotgun now for Love. Couldn't connect across the middle. It's an incomplete pass. Couldn't make the hook up with Matthew Golden. So they're left facing 3rd and long.
Just about every play in an NFL game usually has a protagonist and antagonist, a good and a bad. The good there, the courage of that wide receiver. The bad, just could not haul it in.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. Here he goes, 3rd and long. Complete beyond the marker. And he's going to be brought down here at the 42. That play gains 15, and it moves the sticks.
And the Packers, 1st down.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down, and nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
Running on 1st here with Jacobs. Rolling into enemy territory. And this great effort winds up getting them well into enemy territory before he's brought down. An excellent gain, 20 yards there, and that's going to move the sticks.
No frills, nothing fancy. That was just a good old offensive line dominated in the trenches. And that sprung him to get to the 2nd level and beyond.
New set of downs for him. They'll start at the 38. On 1st and 10, here's Love. Ooh, almost a throw that cost him. Defender had it in his hands, but he dropped it. It's incomplete. 2nd down coming up.
That was it. That was their chance to escape this series. They were looking for a way out without giving up any points, and that was their ticket off the field. Unfortunately, he just couldn't quite hang on.
A 2nd down throw here for Love. Short pass brought in. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down.
You know what I love to say? You never go broke taking a profit, and you often gain profits when you use your eyes as a quarterback. Those hitch routes, those underneath throws, oftentimes it's the eyes of the quarterback looking downfield and then taking that short completion.
Quite the drive they've had, Brock, but they're up against it. 3rd and 5 now. Love out of the shotgun. Escapes the pocket. Oh, he's going to run for it. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
It's a gain of 28 yards. That's another Packers 1st down. 1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
Jacobs will not get past the line. He's held up at the 4.
You know, Kate, these are the situations in training camp that I love more than anything to watch. You learn so much about a football team in these goal-to-go situations. You know you got to protect that goal line, and the defense, well, they did the job on first down. More to come.
Love from the gun. That one connects. And the defense waiting for him at the line, and he goes down.
There's no question, Kate, that the big plays down the seam or what make tight ends a fan favorite, but it's those type of catches right there. The short yardage, it gets good coverage, contested catches that really make tight ends a locker room favorite.
Love now on 3rd and goal. The shot to the end zone is incomplete.
Just something off in the rhythm of their passing game on that one. Time to recalibrate and keep throwing it to get back into rhythm.
They want the touchdown on 4th and goal. They're going for it from the 3. They're going to go. It's Love. And they don't get the catch they need there. Their hand was forced. Brock had to try and go for it, but they turn it over on downs.
Oh, there was so much good on that play. Right play call, good route, great throw, Kate. Just needed to make the catch. That's a situation you expect your guys to convert in every time.
Vikings to the line now. Here's 1st and 10. Starting the drive with a give to Jones. And he will have this to up around about the 15-yard line. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And that means a fresh set of downs for Minnesota.
That has got to be so demoralizing for that defense. You pin him back. It's a terrible field position. They run the ball, but they run it right down your throat and move the chains. That stings.
They're giving it to Jones on the option. He's able to drive that pile about a yard. Andrew and Cooper there to make the stop.
It'll be this group's job watching the film to find all these plays. The ones that amount to really very little statistically and identify what was needed to just make them a little bigger, stretch them further. Afterthought plays now, they could be the big gains of next week.
Second down carry for Jones. Defender gets to him right around the line. It's going to be marked as no gain. So, Brock, that means 3rd down coming up.
Not every corner in this league can make the play he just made right there. Sure, there's pure coverage guys. Not really known for their tackling, but this guy, well, he's someone who isn't afraid to stick his nose in there and make a stop.
3rd down, line to gain 9 yards out. They'll throw, 3rd and long. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
You and I know, Kate, it's on average about 60 to 65 plays a game, somewhere between 10 and 12 third downs. And what you don't want to do is start 0 for 2 in that column.
Ryan Wright on to punt. And he's going to have to hit this one from the edge of his own end zone. And he makes the fair catch inside the 45. Now here comes the Green Bay offense. They took their shot on 4th and goal, came away empty-handed, so a lot to like, Brock, but just need to find a way to punch it in this time. A nice starting spot for the Packers here. This is 1st and 10. To the air with Love. Finds him over the middle. And he's going to be drugged down. Looks like at that 37-yard line. They get 18 yards out of it and a new set of downs.
That's good for a Packers first down. 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
I I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
This is complete. It's Matthew Golden. And he's going to be stopped, but not before he gets him all the way down to that 15-yard line.
It's a gain of 22
They managed 22 on the rip and a first down.
Packers first down.
These QBs make it look easy, but that requires such a large amount of body control when you throw it on the move. You got to be able to get the same accuracy you would if your feet are set. Sure takes a lot of repetition to make it look easy.
This is made in close. And this is down all the way to the 3. A nice pickup of 11 there, Brock, and they'll have first and goal to figure out.
That wasn't going anywhere else on that play. It's one of the ones called specifically for the tight end because they know he's able to get a good release off that play action, and then he gets himself in space to do some damage.
Quick throw out wide by Love. Touchdown, Green Bay. The Packers cut it to a lower point on the scoreboard. It's a Romeo Doubs touchdown. Not a lot of processing time from the moment he pulled it back to the moment he made that throw, Brock, but I think we can all agree he made the right choice not to hand it off and then the right read on that throw.
Yeah, he sure did, kid. It kind of reminds me of the option quarterbacks of our day growing up, right? Those guys that made that pitch, and it was just second nature. They were on the run, guys all around. Didn't matter. He's going to put that pitch right on him. The great RPO quarterbacks of today do exactly the same thing with their throws.
Brandon McManus on for the PAT. The point after splits the uprights. And the Packers tie this game 7-7. Now after tying this game up, they're all set to send her away. On the return, here's Miles Price. And this will give him some decent field position here, partner, and this gets out to the 30. The Vikings taking the field on offense. Their last drive didn't make it very far before they had to punt it away, partner, so hopefully this one has some better legs to it. So first and 10 now from the 30. I'll start with a gift to Jones. And he scampers ahead and gets 2 on the carry.
This offense is now left with some ground to make up a little bit here on second down after that drive starts with a very minimal gain.
Brings up second and 8 at the 32-yard line.
Following that little 2-yard run, it's second and 8. On the shotgun, McCarthy. Brought in left side by Jefferson. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down.
Textbook hitch route. Just hit him in the short field and deliver it once that defense turns their attention elsewhere. Okay, this is a low-ceiling play, but a reliable source of yardage.
6 yards to go here. It's third down. To the air on third and long. And he put everything he's got behind it. So the heave knocked away from the intended targets. That brings up fourth down.
Okay, you know I talk to you all the time about these money downs and third downs and the plan you got to have. It's kind of like a manufacturing plant. You've got to manufacture open looks, and that time, the plant was closed.
The Vikings getting their punt team out. On the return for the Packers, that's Matthew Golden. And he's had a very busy game already, Brock. Third time they've called on him as he gets this away. And he'll get under this one and make the fair catch at the 19-yard line. The Packers all set to get back out there. And all that's needed here, Brock, is some repeat execution from that last series. Of course, gotta expect the defense has made some adjustments after giving up that touchdown.
And that is the beauty of this game we love so much. Those back and forth adjustments on the sidelines. And can this offense do what it did a drive ago? And that is stay one play ahead of their defensive foes.
Packers getting set here. 1st and 10. Love looking to pass. Able to find Wicks here. He's forced out of bounds after a gain of about 4 there. 2nd down.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on 1st down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
5 still to go here. This is 2nd down. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Splits a couple of defenders and completes it. And he'll go down after fighting his way to the 32. 8 yards on the gain, and the drive continues forward. Double coverage, deal breaker for a lot of QBs, Brock, but less so when it's a target you trust.
You know, it's interesting, Kate, even 20-something years ago, watching Marvin Harrison and Peyton Manning work, every defense would go into every game trying to double cover him, but yet those two, well, like we just saw right there, just got it done regardless.
This is on target to Christian Watson. And he will have this across that 40-yard line before they manage to stop him. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, 1st down.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
1st down from the 42. Jacobs running behind center. And he gets him around 6 there. Play brought to an end by Jonathan Grenard.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
1st down run gets him 6, so now it is 2nd and 4. Going run again with Jacobs. This is not going to help their cause ahead of 3rd down. He's out of bounds, lost a yard too. That one felt kind of counterintuitive there, Brock. They load up the line with that extra blocking, and then the run goes out to the edge anyway.
That's right. You put 2 tight ends on the field, yeah, you can live with a stalemate. It's hard to move people in the NFL, but you do not want to go backwards.
Left side gets it out quick, and it's caught. And they don't get much out of this pass. He's hauled down a little shy of that 1st. It's 4th down now.
Those kind of completions are so frustrating, Kate. It's like a putt. You got it on line, you feel good about it's going in the hole, but you never want to leave it short.
Again, Daniel Whelan heading out for another punt. And this is looking fantastic. Wow, bounces just beyond shy of the goal line. Looks like they're going to mark it at the 4. Now the Minnesota offense trotting out. And they couldn't be backed up much further, Brock. A safety, really the only concern as they take possession here inside their 5-yard line. Minnesota in the formation. It's 1st and 10. On play action now, McCarthy. He throws a bullet to the center, and there's a man there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Nate Hobbs. And the Packers will have it right at the opposing 30 after the interception, and that return on top of it. The moment you see them look to pass from this close to their own goal line, Brock, it is that defense's goal to hurry him and force a mistake just like that.
Yeah, those guys, they're so sneaky on the back end, Kate. They know the clock is being sped up. They know that the quarterback can feel those footsteps and thinking about a safety, and those defenders just wait for that rush throw, and then they step in, they deliver, and they take the ball away.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Shotgun give now to Jacobs. Dropped by the first guy he met. No gain on that 1st down run.
You know, Kate, over the years, years, I've heard running backs say there's just sometimes you got to run into darkness. Just go where there is no lane and hope that something opens along the way. That linebacker said, not this time.
These two NFC North teams have played one so far. Scoreboard showing 7s on each side. We'll return to historic Lambeau Field after this. Time for our second quarter. It'll be Packer football to begin. They have it second down, well inside of field goal range. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Tough one to retain through that hit. So now it's going to be third and long.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
Throwing his love on third. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of fourth down.
Hey, third down, I get it. Give your quarterback some freedom, right, to make a play, even if he's got to work backwards. But it can blow up in your face as it did right there when nothing opens up.
Daniel Whelan on the punt. And after that drive went backwards, he's going to send this one forward. And this will fly out of bounds to deny a return. They're going to mark it a little before the 20.
Roughing the kicker. Defense.
A fortunate break for them as they get a gift with roughing the kicker. Their offense heading back out to keep things going.
Automatic first down.
You gotta be smarter than that. No reason to hit the kicker there, and that gives them a first down. Running it after the penalty. Gets to space right side. Fights off the tackle, but he lost the ball. He left the ball behind. And it looks like the offense was there to recover it. They're inside the 5. That right there was impressive, Brock. Even with the fumble, absolutely no panic on his part. Finding that football, keeping the play going, and taking it in for 6.
I am just hearing my old offensive coordinator, Tom Moore, say, whoever plays the hardest the longest wins. And that's what you got to do. You got to play harder. You got to play longer than your opponent. And when you get an opportunity, go seize it.
McManus on for the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Packers break that tie and now lead by 7.
14. Vikings 7.
On now is McManus to kick this away. Time Felton here to return it. He's brought down at what looks like the 24-yard line. The Vikings and Aaron Jones headed back out there on offense. And this drive, Brock, hopefully longer than that last one. They were only out there one play before they were picked off.
They're kind of a good chance right now to see how risk-averse these guys are offensively. A lot of game left. They could give the passing game a little breather and start this one on the ground.
Vikings to the line now. Here's 1st and 10. play fake. It's McCarthy. Thielen's got it. Complete. And he'll take it up to the 30 before being brought down.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up second and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
Offensive line. This is 2nd and 4. Now a give up the middle to Jones. And they haul him down after a gain of a couple. Leaves him in need of 1 more yard here on 3rd down.
Sometimes just feel like in the background of every ho-hum run is a bigger play that just needed 1 more component. Hit that extra block a little longer, find the lane quicker. The defender may be a half step late, and this could have been much, much more exciting.
3rd and 2, McCarthy. Looking Hawkinson, he's got it. And he's down after getting this up to the 41. Gain of 9 yards on the play. And the Vikings are going to have a first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
You know, Kate, they say a dog is a man's best friend. Well, the tight end that moves the chains on 3rd down, that's a QB's best friend.
Line up the design keeper. 3 yards on the first down play, and that brings up 2nd and 7.
It may not show up as much on the old stat sheet, just a short little QB run, but what that does, Kate, is so important. Keeps that defense honest, and in particular, those defensive linemen, those cleats in the ground, they're not just coming after you in the pocket. Now they've got to think about you as a runner as well.
McCarthy fires out wide, complete. And he's going to be persuaded out of bounds right at that 40-yard line. That's 16 on the pickup. And that means a fresh set of downs for Minnesota.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
From the 40-yard line now, this is 1st and 10. They'll go play action here. It's McCarthy. And he's brought down at about that 27-yard line. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the first.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. A lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
1st and 10, it's McCarthy. Another one to Addison. And they bring him down at the 18-yard line.
Hey, you like these results on first. That completion right there, right in the window where all options are now available to you on 2nd down. That playbook wide open.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. From the gun, Jones gets it. And his short gain gets them a new set of downs.
Hey, Kate, you want to see a picture in the football dictionary of staying on schedule? That was it.
1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
And keep this drive moving, partner. Here's another 1st and 10. McCarthy going to keep it himself. And that's over. He goes nowhere. They didn't even get back to the line.
It's easy for me to say up here in the friendly confines of the booth, Kate, but that was not the right read. And you hate seeing him absorb yet another hit at the end of the play. You never want him taking unnecessary shots throughout this game.
A momentary speed bump there on what has otherwise been a great drive. Here's 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, McCarthy has him on the quick hitter. And he's short of the first after a mild gain.
This is one of those kind of win-win situations. Both sides feel good. As an offense, I get a completion. I get a win. As a defense, I keep everything in front of me. I make the tackle for a short gain. I get a win, too. Sometimes you can get to win-win.
Let's see what they draw up on a 3rd and 7. Throw here, 3rd down. And the pack gets home. They drop him. It's the exact opposite of what this offense needed. They now face 4th down.
I know we talk about rhythm a lot when it comes to music, but it's the same thing with the quarterback and his protection. This QB was in rhythm, but they knocked the notes out of him on that one.
So So the Vikings will try a field goal on fourth down. Will Reichert headed out. This is a 35-yard look from the right hash. Reichert connects there. And it's dropped back down now to a 4-point game.
That's the type of long, sustained drive that takes some of the starch out of your opponent. The only negative is that the kicking team was out there for a field goal and not an extra point. But they do come away with 3.
We've got a good one here. They've cut the lead to 4 as they send it away. Brooks now on the return. And in the end, he's able to get it to about the 25-yard line before he's hauled down. Out now runs the Packer offense. They were able to say mission accomplished on their last series, finding that end zone. But the work, well, it starts all over again right now.
And you know this, Kate, from our years together of doing this. I'm a firm believer of call it till they stop it. It doesn't mean you have to innovate right away. Call the same plays until they stop them, because they proved last drive they couldn't.
All right, working from the gun to start. 1st and 10. Hand off to Jacobs to start the drive. And they blow up the opening play of this drive. Love the aggressiveness from this defense. And it's not just some quarterbacks, Brock Hewitt, who got to have short memories. You tell me this too, defenses need them sometime as well.
Yeah, 100%. You give up a big run, well, too bad. No time to dwell on it, because you got to line up, buckle up that chin strap, and try to knock them backwards.
Love from the gun. Did not like what he was seeing, Bronson. He's just going to hurl this one away.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. 3rd and long for him here. Got his man. It's Golden. And he's out of bounds. Defenders get there to drive him out right near that 40-yard line. What a play on 3rd and 13. And this drive will indeed continue.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap 1st down.
On 1st and 10, here's Love. On target to Musgrave. And they push this down to the opposing 47-yard line. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12.
Kid, I can promise you that's one of those play-action plays they've repped over the week during practice. They're both quarterback and tight end. Went to bed last night thinking, man, I hope this one's called. And when it is, I hope we have just a little space to operate. That play-action works beautifully. And the tight end, the beneficiary.
Once more, it's Love. Has it to his back. Here's Josh Jacobs. And he works this to the 38 before going down.
You know, Kate, it is so hard on these defenses to try to keep an eye and monitor on these running backs when they leave the backfield, especially if he's waiting to chip a defender or delays in the start of his route. He's really an underrated part of their overall passing game.
Now a toss. This is Jacobs. And they shut him down on this one. They get him behind the line, and that should push him out of field goal range. The line between safeties and linebackers gets real blurred on plays like that, Brock. He handled that one just like a Mike would have.
Yeah, if injuries were to ever crop up, Kate, I bet he could handle the linebacker spot for them as well. Just tremendous diagnosis in that run support.
Love on 3rd and short. And downfield, he's got it. That's Dobbs. And he's going to be brought down at the 23-yard line. They get 19 on that pickup. And it'll give the Packers the first.
1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Part of the reason I leave you pregame, Kate, and get down to that field and watch these guys throw and catch is I want to see their timing. I want to see their anticipation. That is picture perfect right there. A crossing route thrown that quickly tells me these two are on the same page.
And they corral him after a minimal gain to the 21.
Tackle made at the 21.
He gets a couple on first, and they'll come up 2nd and 8.
It's 2nd
Hey, we
and
know
8.
running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
Love out of the shotgun. Short pass brought in. And they are going to have to face a 3rd down here, but only need a yard at most as this play picks up 7.
Brings up 3rd down.
It takes a certain level of fearlessness, craziness to work over the middle of the field in this league. You're fighting through guys as you go, and all the while you know you could take a lick at any time.
Here we go. Goal line formation coming out on 3rd and inches. On the sneak, it's Love. And they're going to down him by contact as they've got enough for a new set of downs.
It's a gain 2.
Kate, is there a simpler play in football that's come to life more than the QB sneak? We see all different varieties now, but it has become so darn effective. And when you got a tough QB that wants to put it on his shoulders, you sign up for it.
From the gun, it's a give to Jacobs. And they're able to grind him to a halt after a pick up the 4.
A humble 5-6 yard gain on the ground. Not a huge gain, not a game-changing play by any means, but one that keeps you on schedule and takes some of the starch out of that front 7.
So gain of 5 on that 1st down. Let's see if they can repeat that performance now here on 2nd. Putting the tight end in motion. Shotgun now for Love. And he's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. The Packers now lead by 10. All right, partner, what do you think? Was that a design read, or did he just see space and he was reacting more on the old quarterback instinct there?
Yes. I think yes on both of them, and that play happens so fast that it really is instincts on both sides.
McManus on for the extra points. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Packers drive their lead to 11.
21. Vikings 10.
On now is McManus to kick this away.
Green Bay.
On the return, here's Price. They'll bottle him up just as he gets it to the 30.
Take over first
The Vikings offense back to the field now. And down double digits, Brock. Field goals like we saw on their last drive aren't going to move the needle as much as they need to. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Off play action. It's McCarthy. This is Jefferson, and he's got it. And he's going to be taken down here after he takes it to the 45.
15 yards.
He picks up 15 on the play. And the Vikings are going to have a 1st down.
First and 10
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a 1st down.
Here's McCarthy, 1st and 10. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose, incomplete.
Justin Jefferson.
Looking for Justin Jefferson on that throw. And we'll see what they do here on 2nd down. Well, he already has himself one interception in this game, partner, and throws like that are going to find him another if he isn't careful.
Yep, those are the throws you want to intersperse and sprinkle into your passing game, because if they become the norm and you're constantly thrown into coverage, that's when one pick becomes 2 becomes 3, and on and on.
And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field. 6 yards to pick up there. That's going to bring up 3rd and 4.
Makes it
You make that call to just give yourself a fighting chance on third down, Kate. Take at least a little bite of the big meal between them and the first down marker. And that should make this upcoming call a little less daunting.
Throwing on third, McCarthy. Complete beyond the marker. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
5-yard gain on the play.
As a quarterback, when you throw that curl route, you know it's a tight window, Kate. But the minute that DB turns and can't react to the throw, you put it right on your receiver's numbers. He comes back and gets it and moves the sticks.
Markers are resets. Here we go. Ball at the 44. Here's a design run. And nothing was going to help him escape that. He gets hit for a loss. Second down coming up.
QB runs can be some of the most difficult plays for these defenses. But not for the defense right there. Did the homework. And they get an A+ for how they defended that play.
All right, here we go. Second down. From the shotgun, McCarthy. And it looks great flying through the air, Brock, but problems on the business end as it falls to the ground. Third down coming up.
Geez, with each incompletion, each turnover, each sack, you can almost just feel this offense's frustration. Really imperative, this quarterback, stay positive. Just keep chopping away.
So after that prior incompletion, it's third down. To the air on third and long. They set up the screen. It's Hawkinson. And this one does not go far.
Those little short throws, they are high percentage and certainly bread and butter. But they really run the risk of a quick tackle just like that and being stopped short of the sticks.
Minnesota lined up in punt formation. And is Matthew Golden out to receive it. And this looks like it got just inside the 20 as it flew out. And indeed it did. They're putting the ball at the 19-yard line. The Packers and Jordan Love set to take over again. And we're all hoping his hot start can continue. He's been putting up some numbers early in this contest. Green Bay offense to the line now. First and 10. A give to Jacobs on the inside handoff. And he powers through the middle for a gain of 4.
You know, Kate, that might be a little bit of a disappointing run to him. He wanted more. They always do. That's exactly what they were after offensively to get this drive moving.
First down run, nabs him 5. Now second and 5. Love looking to pass. Going the out route complete. And this one gets to the 33-yard line before it's stopped. Only a minute and 57 seconds left between us and halftime at this point. It's the Packers leading from Lambeau. Love now on first and 10. Go right side and Dobbs has it. And they're going to have this up at the 44-yard line as they haul him down. They gain 11 on that play. And that's good for a Green Bay first down. And that right there is about the best you could hope for against double coverage. Good chunky yards, and more importantly, Brock, you don't get burned taking a risk.
Yeah, it's really the defense that gets burned, and that is just demoralizing. You got double coverage, you got what you want, and two guys can't stop one.
And he goes out, just needed one more step there to reach midfield.
Hey, Kate, you know this from covering the Seahawks, calling their preseason game. When Pete Carroll was there, if he said it once, he said it 100 times. Stay on top, stay on top, stay on top. You'll give up a short little out route like that, but just stay on top of the deep threat.
Throwing again, Love. And he's not quite that fast. Let him just a bit too much. That's incomplete.
They would sure love to connect on some of these intermediate throws, those chunk throws. Getting a completion like that, well, not only does it spark your offense, but it just sets you up for even more aggressive play calling.
Last pass unsuccessful. Let's see what they do on third down. Sticking in the air, Love. Hits him on the out route. And that short field pass, Brock, is held to the short field. It's going to be fourth and short. The Vikings call a timeout. It'll be their first. As they'll get together and discuss with fourth down coming up. Daniel Whelan on now to punt this away. Miles Price deep to return. And this one skips out of bounds and will be marked inside the 30. The Vikings now set to take the field. They're trailing, but there's enough time, Brock, that they could get a scoring drive to attack that here before the break. Minnesota in the formation. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw, McCarthy. He's keeping it. And McCarthy slides to the ground here, but not before picking up the first.
You know, Kate, back in the day, we had a slip and slide at practice for moments just like that. Actually practicing how to slide and get out of harm's way. Nice gain on the play and denied that defense yet another chance to take a shot on him.
Big shot to begin the drive has him up beyond the 40. 1st and 10, here's McCarthy. Jefferson brings it in on the slant. And the tackle's made just beyond midfield at the 48. Minnesota spends its second time out here. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half.
And the Vikings 1st down.
The ball's on the 48. Here we go. 1st down. From the shotgun, McCarthy goes right back to Jefferson, complete. And he's tackled after gaining a handful.
That's a pretty similar result to a 1st down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Operating from the gun, it's McCarthy. That one's caught along the left sideline. It's a Minnesota touchdown. The Vikings make it a one-score game before halftime. It's a Justin Jefferson touchdown. So sensational work by the skill man there, Brock. Anytime you can make your quarterback look that good, you know he appreciates it.
That's a quarterback's best friend, no question. But on the other side, gosh, defensively, you got to get that skill player down. Period, end of story. You can't give up that much yards after catch.
Reichert on for the point after.
For the extra point.
The point after splits the uprights. And the Vikings cut the lead down to 4.
Vikings 17.
We've got a good one here. They've cut the lead to 4 as they send it away. And that kickoff is into and then out of the end zone. So we got a touchback. This drive will start at the 35. The Packers getting one final drive before the half. They're going to have to be quick about anything that they want to do here, partner. Enough time for a few snaps at most. They've got 1st down here, but just 18 seconds to work with. Love from the gun. Has him on the quick hitter. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line. The Packers take their first time out. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for on 1st down. Textbook. It sets up 2nd and very manageable. And it creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
Offense is set. This is 2nd and 2. Love now to throw. That's complete to Musgrave. And he goes out. Just needed one more step there to reach midfield.
5-yard gain on the play.
5 yards on that play and enough for a new set of downs.
Look up contested catch in the football dictionary, and you'll see that. I mean, I can't critique the defense there. They're in the hip pocket of that tight end. But these contested catches, these tight ends that can separate with their hands, utilize their body, even when you're covered, you're not.
And he will wind up out of bounds after a first down gain of right around 3 yards.
Sometimes when you're just looking to move it forward, get some small yards on a throw, quarterback's best friend, security blanket. And when it's a big old tight end, that's an extra bonus.
One last play before the break. Throwing here just before halftime. And he just got it away before the hit, but the pass winds up incomplete. It's going to be third down. So a one-possession game, Brock, after our first 2 quarters. Now let's throw it over to our pal Scott Hansen. He's got our halftime report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to the downtown Orlando studios. Scott Hansen and crew with you for a short and sweet halftime, as this game's had a little bit of everything to it. We'll find out which side can establish some tempo in the third quarter as we're ready to kick off the second half. Back out to our commentary team, Kate Scott and Brock Hewer.
Scott, thanks so much. We are back, and this one's shaping up to be an exciting one. Very close game, Brock, as we start our third quarter. The first half controlled by the offenses, Brock. Let's see if the defenses can take over in the second half. We're underway. On the return, here's Price. And a decent run back is going to end as they bring him down inside the 30. Here's the Minnesota offense headed out to start this third quarter. That passing game they went to in the first half, it's going to need to be fiery to start this second half, too, as they chase this lead. Vikings to the line now. Here's 1st and 10. Jones with a run to start the third quarter. A lot of space ahead. And they'll take him down after he advances this up to about the 43. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
Well, more often than not, it's the passing game that's asked to go from first down to just one play. But when you get that big play potential on the ground, geez, it just infuses your offense with confidence.
Here's McCarthy on 1st and 10. On the move, hit it right. And he has it up towards midfield before he's taken down at the 47.
The positive of that effort, you didn't go backwards, didn't have a negative play. If there was a negative, you didn't get a whole lot done with your legs. Got to be more efficient now on second down.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Play action, McCarthy. Toward the sideline, and he's got it. And he's taken out of bounds as he gets it down near the red zone. That one goes for 31 yards. And that means a fresh set of downs for Minnesota.
He just made a difficult throw to the outside look elementary, Kate, and that's not easy. The placement, excellent. And it helped set his target up to put some more yards on that stat sheet.
1st and 10, here's Jones. He swarms in the middle. This gets maybe a yard. That was Micah Parsons making that play.
I think we got to be careful, and I'll raise my hand of thinking that play was just a nothing burger. Because what can happen from that, Kate, is he put some nice toppings on it. A play-action pass, a shot that comes down the road from what looked like a very plain play.
Jones again on 2nd down. Now he danced away from one tackle, but unable to dance away from the rest of the defense. No gain on that play.
Well, one defender failed while his buddy was there to swarm to the ball and make that play just as it gets to the line of scrimmage.
A less than ideal 3rd and 8 here. Third and long for him here. That's caught in stride by Addison. Great job rallying to the football. They get him down right at the marker. 4th down.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, you can make a play in the open field. Keep it short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
Reichert connects there, and that cuts the lead back down to a lone point.
That's why they spend all the time on the practice field during the week. That kind of operation. Perfect rhythm, perfect timing, and a 2 for 2 for this kicker.
Things trim back down to a single-point Brock as they send this off and away. Brooks now on the return. This manages to get just beyond that 30-yard line. The Packers ready to run their offense back out there. They've certainly had no issue scoring, but their opponents have been right there with them, so they could really use some more points on this drive. We've set it downs for him from the 31. Jacobs gets it to start the drive. And this drive's quickly headed in the wrong direction. First play set down behind the line.
Stay on schedule. SOS. We talk about it all the time. Offensively, you've got to stay on schedule, and a run like that puts you now so far behind the sticks. Going to take some superhuman effort now on 2nd down.
Offense to the line. 2nd down. Love out of the shotgun. That's incomplete left side. Looking for his wide receiver there. And that's going to leave him with a tough 3rd and long.
Really had to find a way to get that short completion because now you're staring at 3rd and extra long, and that's a place no QB in this league wants to be.
No connection on the last play. Now it's 3rd down. Here he goes, 3rd and long. Lockett isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And that is 3 sacks for this defense in this contest, and that one forces a 4th down.
Awareness. That's what I call it, okay? Awareness. You got to have a game awareness and understand the situation. 3rd and long, you should never take a sack. Put the ball in play or throw it away, but don't take a sack in that situation.
Punt team on the field. And he's going to do the honors for the 4th time today. Starts the return at the 34. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. The Vikings and Justin Jefferson ready to go to work again offensively. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. So good field position to start with for the Vikings. It's 1st and 10. Straight ahead they go with Jones. And they're all the way across midfield before he's brought down. The end result there, 15 yards and a 1st.
And the Vikings, 1st down.
Simply put, Kate, that is a drive starter extraordinaire.
One play in, Brock, and this drive is already in enemy territory. Going to the ground again on 1st. He's taken down, but he's got it to the 29. Give him 18 yards on that play, Brock, and it gets him a 1st down.
That's another Vikings 1st down. A gain of 18 on the play. 1st down, Minnesota.
Hey, even though that was an excellent run, I got to talk about the receivers here, Kate, because 9 times out of 10, you see a run like that in this league, 10 plus, you know those guys on the outside are doing their job, shining as blockers, keeping those defenders away from the back.
First down, and they go right back to him. And he stopped after ripping off an 8-yard chunk. It's second down.
I'm not kidding you, Kate. A run of that length at the NFL level, honestly, is the equivalent of a run of 15-plus at the high school level. It's hard in the run game to make yards, and they just got a very successful one.
After that little 8-yard scoot, here comes second and 2. Design quarterback run here. And they make the stop as that play reaches the 14-yard line. He gets 6 on that play. And the Vikings are going to have a first down.
Vikings, first down. First and 10.
What's that saying, Kate, about discretion? Discretion is the better part of valor. Well, decision-making for quarterbacks is so critical. And that time, excellent discretion. Protect yourself, get the first down, and live to play another day.
Can't slip that initial tackle. Stops made for no gain on that first down play. Their dominance against his ground game rolls on, Brock. Add another stop to what's going to be some real nice film for them to watch.
How many times do you think in your lifetime, Kate, you've heard from a defensive coordinator, job number 1 is?
Stop the run.
And they've been doing it.
McCarthy looking to throw. It's caught. That's Thielen. And he's able to get this down to the 13.
A gain of 2 brings up 3rd and 9.
So a tough spot now. This is 3rd and 9. Now McCarthy. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And they're staring at a 4th down now after that sack.
Hey, that's not an easy thing to do, Kate. Not against quarterbacks and the red zone offenses in this league, but what a tremendous effort to not only get the stop, but to end it with gusto and a sack.
So the Vikings will try a field goal on 4th down. Will Reichert headed out. He's got to drive this 37 yards down the middle. Reichert connects there. And they've taken back the lead.
He connects now for a 3rd time, and that's the biggest of the 3 field goals he's made in this contest. Gives him the lead. Now you turn the keys over to your defense to try and protect it.
Here's Reichert set to kick this away. Brooks now on the return. And this drive will start inside the 25. The Packers and Jordan Love set to take over again. And he has continued to own this defense and keep on throwing that football, partner, making this performance one that he's going to remember, but as you like to say, the defense would probably rather forget. First call here coming from the shotgun. And they're going to bring him down just beyond the 30 at the 31.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Oh, they're going to run the up. Love fumbled it. This is scooped up by the Vikings. Space, left sideline, and he's off to the races. And they will not score. They needed one more step to make it, but they are going to take over at the goal line. Oh, the reaction, perfection, Brock. Once it was recovered, everyone immediately reacted and flipped to return mode, and what a return it wound up being.
So much to love about that, Kate. That's team together, everybody achieving more, and you could see it all the way down to the 1-yard line, but I promise you this, there'll be a little razzing on that sideline. Come on, man. You could smell the end zone. Can't you just punch it in?
Come on.
But
What a
overall,
return, though. What a return.
Oh, no question. That is the effort you're looking for, the desire and the want to, no question about it.
Chance to pay off their defense's effort as they start out first and goal. Jones does not get in. His push is stopped just short of that goal line.
Oh, so aggravatingly close to a safety on that one right there, Kate. Just a matter of a foot, and they could have had some points on the board defensively.
Need hardly anything here. Second and inches. Back to Jones. And his defense standing tall. They keep him out of the end zone.
Okay, this is going to be a fascinating call because defensively, you've stopped the run twice down. I think you believe on that side, well, they got to put it in the air. But this is also where the offense could say, we got 2 more shots. Let's continue to pound the football. Can't wait to watch this one.
They'll run with Jones. He's fighting all he can, but won't get that final yard. They're going to have 4th down coming up.
This coordinator tried to show some trust and belief in his offense. A run after a negative run? Well, you lose a lot of equity and belief in that coordinator. I don't think he's going to try a 3rd run after back-to-back negative losses.
So the Vikings will try a field goal on 4th down. Will Reichert headed out. This is a chip shot from the left hash. Reichert connects there. And that grows the lead to 5.
But when we start discussing who their most dependable scorer is in this game, I don't think it's one of these skill guys, not even the quarterback, who comes to my mind first. I'm going to bring up this kicker. He's now a perfect 4 for 4 on field goals and contributing big time to this lead.
Here's Reichert set to kick this away. Here comes Williams on the return. And he's brought down just beyond that 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense about to get started once more. All their scoring has kept them close, but they still find themselves trailing by just a little in this 3rd quarter. Packers getting set here. 1st and 10. Play fake. It's Love. Finds him over the middle. And he's going to be brought down up at the 28-yard line.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Shotgun now for Love. Short pass brought in. And he's going to go out of bounds. Looks a little short of the 35.
I know I could sound like a broken record when I talk about timing and getting the ball out on time and on rhythm, but these outcuts, it is so imperative, and the best of them make it look oh so easy.
3rd and just 2 to go. Throwing now on 3rd and 2. Hits him on the in route. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41. They get 6 and a 1st down as well.
And the Packers, 1st down.
Move the chains! Gotta move them chains! Build momentum and keep that defense on its heels.
So 1st down from the 41. Once more, it's Love. In trouble now, and the ball is out. And the Vikings have recovered.
You know, this just can't happen on 1st down. It really can't. I mean, ball security is a premium on every down, every distance. But on 1st down, it is especially a killer.
The Vikings and Aaron Jones headed back out there on offense. They have been automatic scoring in this quarter, and yet another opportunity to do so here. First down now, ball at the 33. They're going to throw now, following the turnover. Throw complete to Thielen. And he'll get it down to the 24-yard line.
Hey, one thing I learned from the late, great Mike Leach is, yeah, the system was called air raid, but it wasn't just attacking downfield. His philosophy, and it played out right there, is you have to attack every inch of the field, both vertically and horizontally, without routes or in routes just like that.
Second down, looking for options. Go left side, brought in by Hawkinson. And he's out of bounds inside the red zone, just short of the 15. That play goes for 8 yards, and it keeps this drive moving.
That pitch and catch won't show up as a big play on the stat sheet, but it gives his own defense a little time to rest. It gives an offensive coordinator a new set of downs to work with.
First and 10, it's McCarthy. Same guy, here's Hawkinson again. Touchdown, Minnesota. The Vikings grow their lead off the turnover. It's a T.J. Hawkinson touchdown. Well, in a close game, they needed somebody to make that type of play. Now it pushes their lead to a couple of scores and makes a comeback that much more difficult.
You know, Kate, their offense did its part and padded the lead. Now it's up to this defense to make this two-score lead hold up and carry it across the finish line.
Reichard on for the point after. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Vikings push the lead up to 12.
33. Packers 21.
Here's Reichard set to kick this away.
Kickoff for the Vikings.
Brooks now on the return. And he's brought down just inside the 25. Now here comes the Green Bay offense. And the last two drives have been teaching tape for that defense, Brock, and probably have earned this offense a lecture in the near future as well. Just haven't been able to take care of that football.
Yeah, I just kind of want to focus on those guys, everything they're doing on that side, because the humble pie this offense has eaten, it's been a tough watch.
Green Bay offense to the line now. First and 10. Here's Love to throw. Completed over the middle. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this one to the 41. The big play nets him 17 yards. And it'll give the Packers the first.
Well, that is a well-designed route right there. He really made it easy to get that pass to him. Creating space, QB receiver, deliver.
Running on first here with Jacobs. Went in there full steam ahead, but he ran out of steam pretty quickly. No gain on that one. Well, the extra blocking sure didn't spring that run the way they hoped it would, Brock.
In the old West Coast system, you call 12 personnel, 2 tight ends, Tiger. Tiger package comes on the field. That was a whole lot more like a kitty cat effort there.
To the air with Love. Able to find Wicks here. And we'll have a 4-yard gain on that one. He's taken down at the 44.
Well, that's a modest little drag route, but if you ever just need a safe, short gain on a throw, that's a go-to route to target.
They come to the line here, and this is 3rd and 6. They'll throw, 3rd and long. He lobs this one up, looking deep to the right side. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Looking for Christian Watson that time. And now they're staring at a 4th down.
Well, that took some force right there. That took some serious defensive effort to force the incompletion. You're not going to see a lot of guys ever let go of a football when they got a 1st down right in their midst. But that force, that contact, separated man from ball.
And he'll bring in this fair catch at the 13. The Vikings and Aaron Jones headed back out there on offense. And his production is carried over into this second half. He keeps on running well, even with the workload they placed upon him. Minnesota into formation. It's 1st and 10. They'll go play action here. It's McCarthy. And a stunning loss there, Brock. He ends up in his own end zone. That is a wild safety. Well, this has been one of the big stories of the game, partner. He's been sacked over and over and over here. And this time, cost him more than just yards. It cost him 2 points and possession. Former quarterback, man, what are you thinking at this point in the game?
I'm thinking I'm going to be spending a lot of time in the training room to get my body right. And I think, were you Marshawn Lynch right there? Over
yeah.
and over
there
and
you
over.
Go. Let's go. After surrendering the safety, they're out to boot it away.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So they will indeed accept that penalty. From the 40-yard line now, this is 1st and 10. Love now to throw. He's got it to him yet again, and that one is caught.
You know, I've learned over the years, defensively, they call that the camera club. How many different guys can get rallying to the football? So that last shot you see on camera, you see as many defenders keeping that to a 0-yard gain. That's well done defensively.
2nd and 10. Need something positive here. Love from the gun. Another turnover. This time it's an interception. Byron Murphy picks it. He's going to bring this one back. It's a pick six and a Minnesota touchdown. Went to the old well one too many times, Brock, and this time the defense was ready for it.
Now, you make as many catches as he has in this game, you're going to attract some extra attention. They knew it was probably going his way in the near future, and they had somebody there waiting for it that time.
Reichert on for the point after.
For the extra point.
Right down the middle, it's good. And the Vikings take a 3-possession lead.
40, Packers 23.
Well, Brock, hopefully some short memories on offense as they get it right back here on the kickoff after that pick six. Here comes Williams on the return. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20. The Packers all set to get back out there. And the turnovers have not helped as they find this game out of reach at the moment here in the third. Packers getting set here. 1st and 10. Handoff here to Jacobs. And that's good for a gain of 5. Harrison Smith hit on the stop.
He was tackled at the 27-yard
Cool thing about a drive starting run like that, Kate, is it really just gives you every opportunity in the playbook, whatever you want to do. But as for me, I like to reward that runner. Give it to him again and see if he can get you a new set of downs.
Run picks up 6, so that means it's 2nd and 4. Going run again with Jacobs. unable to get away from that tackle. Good work on the defense. Nothing gained on second down.
So close to a big loss of yards for those guys up front. 1 second sooner, and they got him tackled behind the line. But a stop to celebrate nonetheless.
Here they go, getting set for 3rd and 4. Love looking to pass. Oh, put some air under this one, right side. So the coverage holds up on the deep ball. That's going to force 4th down.
The numbers tell us pretty clearly, you get to 3rd and long, extra long, it's really hard to stay on the field. That's disappointing because that was 3rd and manageable and an incomplete.
The Packers send out their punting unit. And this is going to put them up to 6 punts today. And that fair catch corralled just beyond the 25-yard line. The Vikings and Justin Jefferson ready to go to work again offensively. And he's been reading the coverage, dare I say, Brock, even better than his quarterback has all game. I mean, he just continues to find openings and make plays in this second half. Vikings to the line now. Here's 1st and 10. Starting the drive with a give to Jones. And he's brought down as the drive starts out with a 4-yard gain.
That is simply a stay-on-schedule kind of run. Nothing more, nothing less, just right on schedule.
Four yards on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 6. McCarthy to throw it. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Ball and defender arrived at the exact same time there. And that takes them to 3rd down. Part of what's earned him status, Brock, is one of the league's better tight ends. Are those hands, right? His dependable hands. So shouts to the defense there because he wasn't able to hang on that time.
Kate, it's one thing for these defenders to separate a receiver from the ball, but to do so on a stud tight end, that's big time.
And even on 3rd down, he sees no choice other than to get rid of it. Not the play they wanted. It's going to be 4th down.
There's not a quarterback alive that enjoys throwing it away on 3rd down. But that's a good case right there of live to play another day. Live to play another series and don't put the ball in harm's way.
On now comes their punter. And he's brought down before the return gets far.
Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 39-yard line.
A nice starting spot for the Packers here. This is 1st and 10. Shotgun give now to Jacobs. And they blow up the opening play of this drive. Love the aggressiveness from this defense.
It's a loss of 2. Brings up 2nd and 12. At the
So we're through 3 here. It's not quite over yet, but it'd take a pretty miraculous comeback. We've got a 3-score game as we get set to start the 4th quarter. Back to the line they come, 2nd down. Now Love on the play fake. Finds the in route complete. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down.
It's a gain of 9. Makes it 3rd and 4.
Vikings sending out nickel coverage here on 3rd down. Love out of the shotgun. And downfield, he's got it. That's Dobbs. And they're going to keep moving forward, Brock, down inside the opposing 30. A gain of 26 yards there. And that's good for a Green Bay 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
This entire play, Kate, depends on how well he can separate from his man. You get man-to-man coverage, it's really about two things: separation and trust. Because QBs want to throw it before he breaks, that's the trust, and then they got to believe that that separation can create the big play down the field.
And this time they're going to get to him before he can get that pass away as he goes down. And that is 5 sacks for this defense in this game as their latest brings up second down.
This overwhelming pressure and these sacks after sacks after sacks, well, it's built this lead, and you know it's the way they want to finish it.
Expect the defense to be coming again here after that sack. It is 2nd and 16. Love now. Has him on the quick hitter. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain.
That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 11.
Digging deep in the playbook here, and this is 3rd and 11. Here he goes, 3rd and long. Complete beyond the marker. Tackle made at the 10, 1st and goal coming up.
It's a gain of 20. That's good for a Packers 1st down. 1st down and 10 yards to go.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. That was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
That one connects. And they shove him out. Looks like he got about 6 before they did so. It's 2nd down.
Kid, I promise you, if you and I got to travel the country and watch young quarterbacks, even really good high school quarterbacks, out routes are the hardest to complete. Slants, goes, fades, all that stuff comes somewhat naturally, but really trusting yourself to throw that out route, that comes with time and experience.
Loves to throw again. And he's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. The Packers get it back to within 2 possessions. Well, they definitely wanted to get that one out quick, Brock. They did just that, and it ends in 6.
We hear it all the time, but it is so true, Kate. This is a game about matchups. And when you see a throw that quick, it really was determined pre-snap. It was great design and tremendous execution.
McManus on for the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Packers cut the lead down to 10.
40. Packers 30.
That lead trimmed just a bit, down to 10 points now as the kick is up and away. On the return, here's Price. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense ready to set up shop again. And they're already up by 2 scores, Brock, but another one here would really put this one out of reach. Minnesota in the formation. It's 1st and 10. On play action now, McCarthy. Connects with his back, Aaron Jones. And he's brought down after a short gain.
Kid, I don't know why every once in a while I'll get these little flashbacks, but a little play like that just flashes me back to the preseason, my first preseason. One of the veteran QBs said, hey, Brock, whatever you do, just find completions. You will never go broke taking a profit. Go get a completion. They're at a premium in this league.
McCarthy fires out wide, complete. And he's going to be brought down after a gain of 5, right up next to that line to gain.
5 yards on the play. And it's third down.
Third and a lone yard coming up. He's going to try to pick it up. And what a play. They never gave him a shot to get that single yard. He's going to lose some yardage. Fourth down coming up.
It's after plays like these, Kate, I love to study the body language. What is that offense doing after getting stuffed inside on a run like that? And more importantly, how much does it energize that defense?
They'll send out the punting unit. And this is the 5th time he's been called upon today. And a fair catch made without incident, just inside the 25. The Packers and Jordan Love set to take over again. And like we've seen from him before, Brock, he got a good game going early through the air and kept the pressure up from then on. He's still taking it to him now as we work through this second half. Green Bay offense to the line now. 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Love. Left side into the hands of Dobbs. And he will get this inside the 30.
It's a pickup of 46 yards. And the Packers first down. 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And he stopped just before he reaches the red zone at the 21.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you could depend on.
Offense is set. This is 2nd and 2. On the handoff, here's Jacob. And this play reaches the 12-yard line before the stop is made. Give him 9 on that play, and it's enough for the first.
Find me an offense that won't take that type of result every snap. Good execution, quality gain, and it moved the sticks.
Bringing the offense up to the line. 1st and 10. He put a receiver in motion left. Going back to Jacobs on 1st down. And he'll bowl his way ahead for a 4-yard pickup.
They'll come away happy getting that type of output on most run plays. It's a sign where they're getting some good push up front, and this running back is seeing the lanes and paying them off.
They'll come up after that 4-yard gain. It's 2nd and 6. Caught on the slant. And he will not score, but that does set him up, Brock, with 1st and goal, less than a yard away from the end zone.
Good luck defending that short yardage slant. Just not going to happen. There's a reason this is a go-to play for just about any quarterback in every situation.
Offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. They'll run. Jacobs not able to make a push for that goal line. He's hit for a loss back at the 3. The presence of those tight ends works both ways, Brock. You know this. Gives them more blockers up front, but it also clues the defense in to be ready for that run.
Yeah, you could put 7 blockers up there, even put 8, I don't know, 9. All the blockers in the world, but if they don't work in concert together to create a lane, it doesn't matter.
He's got it to him yet again. That is cut. And he's able to get it to the 2 before the stop.
A gain of 1 yard on the play. It's now 3rd and goal.
Big play coming up here as everyone gets set for 3rd and goal. Love. Now setting up the screen for Jacobs. Oh, no luck. He tried. He was fighting, but they sent him backwards on 3rd and goal.
A loss of a yard.
Not terribly Nothing complicated on this one, just not the third down screen you wanted to run. Little chance they were getting the first, and apparently, little chance they were going to even gain a positive yard at all.
On comes Brandon McManus now to try this field goal for the Packers. This is a chip shot from the left hash. Kicked well, and this is good! And it pulls him back within one score here in the fourth.
His make there, they had to have that one. And it really does set up a judgment call down on the field. And this is where special teams coach and head coach are talking about game management. You've got 3 timeouts left, so you really can write either script you want. Onside kick or send it deep.
And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. Felton now to return this. He stopped on the run back at the 27. The Vikings taking the field on offense. They didn't add to their lead last time out, so they punted it away, but still ahead and able to add to it here. Vikings to the line now. Here's 1st and 10. They'll start with a give to Jones. Up the sideline, past the 40. And he's going to just get this across midfield before he's taken out of bounds. It's a gain of 27 yards to move the chains.
Best run games in this league at balance. Can run it inside, and as they just showed right there, doing damage on the outside.
46-yard line.
One play in, Brock, and this drive is already in enemy territory. Jones once more. And his progress is stopped, but a nice 5-yard gain before it was.
You gain that kind of yardage in the run game, and you're going to gain the trust of your offensive coordinator. Plays like that, runs like that, set the table for everything else in the playbook.
So gain of 5 on that first down. Let's see if they can repeat that performance now here on second. Staying on the ground with Jones. Well, even a great game is going to have its lesser moments. You can't get anything out of that carry. Stop for no gain.
When you rush the passer, it's kind of like tracking down a runner. That same pass, same athleticism comes to life. He looked pretty good hunting his prey right there.
The Packers going nickel on 3rd. From the shotgun, McCarthy. That's caught. This is Addison. And their next snap is coming from that red zone as he reaches the 14. So a 27-yard pickup on that play. And that means a fresh set of downs for Minnesota.
And the Vikings, first down. 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
Coming to the line, this is 1st and 10. Now a give up the middle to Jones. Dropped by the first guy he met. No gain on that first down run.
The one thing I could say positive about the execution of that play is at least he didn't go backwards.
At the 14-yard line.
Last run, not a lot of help, Brock. 9 to go now on 2nd down. Man in motion here. 2nd down carry for Jones. And he gets a nice chunk, looks like about 5. It's going to be 3rd down.
When you don't have great success on 1st down, Kate, it's a little bit like a hitter in baseball falling behind in the count. And all you want to do as a hitter is get back to a fighting chance. Give yourself a better count. That play, well, it does the same here. Now a much more manageable and opportune 3rd down situation.
Going on 3rd, McCarthy. The stop is made after a gain of 6. That's going to make it 1st and goal.
A gain of 6.
You know, before the snap, right before the snap, you may have to take off if the read isn't there. That was a great adjustment made at the perfect time for the 1st down.
All set up for an insurance score here. It's first and goal. No run here. It's Mason. And they keep him out of the end zone. Can't even get beyond the line. Touchdown denied. Ooh, talk about a bad look there, Brock. Going jumbo set and still moving backwards after that play.
I don't think you're talking to this defense, Kate, because I think they thought that was an excellent look to knock that thing backwards.
Yeah, good point, good point. Now run with Jones. And he's not going to reach the end zone. They bring him down at the 1. Only a yard that time. A defensive stand brewing here, and it brings up third and goal.
That's twice now where runs have not gotten them into the end zone, but you've kind of set yourself up. Actually, you set yourself up really well for a little play action right here.
He gets it again. And this time he's got it. Touchdown, Minnesota. The Vikings go up by 2 scores as they try to put this one away. It's an Aaron Jones touchdown. A lot of pressure on him in that moment, Brock. Find a way to score. Don't let it go to fourth and goal. And he finds a way to come through and gets in the end zone for 6.
Now, how about the other side? Beating the defense right there as well. That group who was so close to pulling off the goal line stand, yet all that motivation wasn't enough to stop them on third and goal.
One after try good by Reichert. And the Vikings double their lead to 14.
47. Packers 33.
Here's Reichert, set to kick this away.
For the Vikings.
Here comes Williams on the return. Jukes away from one. This makes it up to the 25. The Packers are headed back to the field, so we'll get a look at Romeo Doubs. And he has kept his pace up in the second half. His quarterback more than happy to keep throwing it his way, considering what he's been able to do with his looks all game. Offense into the shotgun set as they line this up. First and 10. To the air with Love. Short pass brought in. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down.
A gain of 9 brings up second and 1 at the 34-yard line.
Just a yard left to go on second down. Pressure coming for Love. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. He's been a frequent target throughout this game, Brock. We've seen that coverage tighten up a little bit more on him every time the ball's thrown his way.
Well, hasn't taken him off the board completely. He's still beating them for some catches, but that heightened focus defensively does lead to moments like that one where what would normally be a catch falls incomplete.
He's going to try to drop it in deep right. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Looking for Christian Watson that time. And that leaves them with a decision to make on fourth and short.
Defender's not going to be thrilled the catch was almost made on his watch, but more importantly, he breaks it up. Gives him a chance to do a little jawing after the play. Lets the other guy know he roughed him up and cost him that catch.
They'll run for it. Jacobs. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down. It's a 4-yard gain, and that's going to get him across the marker and earn the first.
That's simply a bet being made that not only is your call or scheme better, but that your players just want it more than the big fellas on defense do. And clearly on that one, they did.
New set of downs for them. They'll start at the 38. Love now on first and 10. Knocked away. That's going to be incomplete. Defender there. That brings up second down.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you can't get the pick, at least make sure a catch isn't made. That's the job of every defender out there. And he made sure that one wasn't completed.
After the incompletion, still at the 38, it's second and 10. To the air. Love. Completed over the middle. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down.
Complete to
The goal of that little drag
Musgrave.
route is to get him for at least a minimal gain with space to
Makes
add
it
after that.
third
That picked
and
up a good
4.
chunk, and it was nearly a big play.
Third down and 4 now. This is the 7th play in this drive. Love from the gun. Pass brought in by Watson. And he is finally out of bounds as he takes it all the way down to the 20. So we're down to the 2-minute warning here from Green Bay. Packers losing by 14. Once more, it's Love. Finds him over the middle. And he works this to the 15 before they make the stop.
Complete to Romeo Dobbs. A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 15-yard line.
5 still to go here. This is 2nd down. Stick it in the air. Love. And this is cut for a score, and we are not done here yet. Exactly the play they were looking for, Brock. They saw it, and he put it right on the money.
Yeah, it really was a perfect play. This is what it looked like in practice, but more importantly now to get it done in game time, that's what you're looking for. Amazing when it all comes together.
Here's Love up to the line. 2-point attempt coming.
The Packers will set up for the 2-point
They'll send their
conversion.
tight end right. They give it to the back of his own lead. And they'll bring him down after a pretty short game.
Those defenders, well, they're just as excited as all of us when we get to see a 2-point play. It's a chance to directly keep points off the board and can energize a defense and give them that swag when the defenses stop them.
So exactly a minute and a half left on the clock as they try to get this ball back. And this is covered by the Vikings hands team.
The onside
Needed to try it, we all get it, but didn't work. Still now have those 3 timeouts to fall back on.
They did need to try it, but I think there is a school of thought of, hey, also kick it deep with those 3 timeouts. So now your defense can't give up a yard. Right now, you've really burdened your defense to get a quick stop, and make sure they do not give up any yardage to this opposing offense.
Let's go defense. Now the Minnesota offense trotting out. Their lead still more than a field goal, thankfully, should the worst happen, Brock. But obviously the goal here is to hang on to the ball and try to run this game out.
Yeah, the goal is to get to the best formation in the history of offensive football. The victory formation.
The victory formation,
That
yep.
is all that you're thinking right now is just make these plays, run out this clock so we can take one more knee and celebrate.
And this run is going to push it inside the 40. Give them 7 there. The Packers take their first time out
brings up 2nd
as they'll
and
meet
2.
and decide what to do on this 2nd down.
That is just a great drive starter. What every offense wants. Gives you a little bit of energy, a little juice, and now a really manageable 2nd down.
Nice run last play. Sets up 2nd and 2. Straight ahead they go with Jones. And it's going to be a win for the Vikings here today as they get the first down. They can take the clock down to 0 now.
And the Vikings
Now timeout taken by Green Bay. That's it 2nd. And they are quite frustrated having to call that after giving up the first. New set of downs for him from the 31. They send him left out of the slot. Going to the ground again on first. And he's only able to get back to the line. It's going to be 2nd down. Timeout taken by the Packers. Their 3rd and final one.
Gain on the play.
As they'll meet and decide what to do on this 2nd down.
At the
Stopped right at the line, but might as well have been a loss of yards as far as the offense is concerned. It's always humbling when you try force versus force, and the defense wins out.
Lining up to take a knee on second down. They'll draw it up for him. After one final kneel down, partner, and this should do it. So the Vikings pick up the win on the road. And Brock, we all know any win is a good win, but playing against a division rival, oh, it always feels so much better dealing them one in the L column.
These are the teams that know you best, Kate, but also the ones that you know best. So yes, it is just a little bit sweeter when you take care of business in your own division.
So for Brock Ewart, everyone here on our great crew, I'm Kate Scott, and this has been the NFL on EA Sports. The Vikings emerge as winners as we say so long from Green Bay.